So this is a bit of a new one for me. A December countdown of the best rock music, rock records of 2023. So I'm going to go, obviously, from 31 to number 1. I already know my number 1. But the list of records may change, may do. But at the moment, I'm fairly certain of what I'm going to be talking about over the next month or so. So, for my number 31, we have the excellent Foo Fighters. But here we are. And here we are indeed. It is a good record. It's the 11th studio record by the band, which surprised me a little bit because I didn't really know they'd done that many. I thought they'd done half a dozen, maybe a little bit more. But 11, that was quite a surprise. So they are clearly a hard-working band. Now, I'm not a massive fan of the Foo Fighters. I'm not going to lie and pretend I am just to be fashionable. That'd be silly, because I'm really not. It's indie rock at the end of the day, and my thing is heavy rock, prog rock, classic rock, etc. But this record, unlike the previous one from 2019, is a much better effort from the guys. Now, obviously, the content is quite emotional in places because of what happened to Taylor Hawkins, and that's quite understandable. Now, I look at this record as, in many ways, a Dave Grohl solo record, because he's basically done everything on it, and the rest of the guys are involved as well, obviously, but he's essentially done everything on this. He's written it, he's played guitar, he's sung it, and he's played drums on it. Now, that to me is an interesting point, because I always really enjoyed Dave Grohl's drumming, and it's still great on this. It's fantastic, and it puts a different flavour, not a better, not a worse, but a different flavour, and it's a flavour I like, to these songs. So what songs are there on it? Let's have a look. Rescued, Under You, and Hearing Voices. Those are the first 3 songs on the record, and this record is slightly top heavy. It does start with a bang, and then the quality drops a little bit to my ear. So we have Hearing Voices, we have But Here We Are, The Glass. I can kind of live without them. Nothing at All is good, which comes next. Show Me How. It's Alright. Beyond Me, The Teacher. Again, these songs, they're not living long in the memory for me, even though I've been listening to this thing since the summer when it came out. But it does finish quite strongly with a song called Rest, which is a powerful, powerful song, and I think it is partly influenced by the death of Taylor Hawkins. Obviously, clearly a lot of the lyrics on here are going to be like that. And he does it very well. He doesn't put any sort of... It's not sickly, it's not over the top, it's Dave Grohl being honest. And if you can be honest in a record, then I think you've done a good job. So, how did this thing actually do in the charts? Well, critical reception has been very good of this. Maybe some of that's coming from a sympathetic place, but I like to think that people actually like this. So in the charts, Australia, number 1. There's a lot of number 1s on this, all over the world. New Zealand, number 1. Scotland, for some reason, number 1. Switzerland, number 1. The UK, which surely comprises Scotland, number 1. Rock and metal albums from the UK, again, number 1. Now, the US, that's interesting, because the Billboard albums in America only put this to number 8. They are a US band after all. So, maybe tastes are different in America, who can say. Now, worldwide, this thing has sold not quite 1 million. It's done about, I would say it's done about a quarter of 1 million, something like that, which is not bad. Not bad at all for a record like this. So have you heard, or have you been avoiding this record because Taylor Hawkins is not on it if you're a Foo Fighters fan? Which, as I said, I'm not a massive fan. They're good, and they do a good job, and they certainly deserve all the success they get because they work so damn hard. But you shouldn't really let the fact that there's a different drummer on this put you off, because that drummer is Dave Grohl, and he's superb. So that is my number 31 of the best rock albums of 2023. Foo Fighters, But Here We Are.